So I thought I'd take you through the process of something I'm going to create. Let's get this metal annealed and nice and soft. Now we're going to make the ends nicely hammered for a cuff now that it's soft. Rounded, because who wants sharp squared off ends on a cuff bracelet, right? Now that I hammered it, I have to anneal it again, which basically just makes all the molecules in the silver kind of deep sigh, relax again. So I'm going to make sure I hit the fire right where I hammered. So now that it's annealed, we're going to easily bend it into what would be more like a bracelet. And then hammer it a little and get it nice and round. So now I've marked the center, and I'm going to melt some hard solder right in the center spot so I can add a bezel. So I've made a little divot in my charcoal block to hold my bezel. You could see it right there. And now I'm going to heat the whole bracelet, get it all nice and warm until that solder I put there melts. So now you can see it's attached. It's really hot. And I'm going to put it in this pickle and get it cleaned up a little bit. Ta-da! So it's been a bit. I had some other things to finish, but look how clean this is now. So now I want to add some gold to it to kind of up level it a bit. Ready? So now I'm going to make some tiny little gold dots out of this 14 karat gold. Get it in my little mechanism here and hammer away. So first up, I'm going to use this boric acid alcohol mix and lightly protect each tiny little dot. And then I'm going to drop some solder on there that I can melt. Little pieces of solder. Alright, you can see I placed 2 of my little gold dots. Now I'm going to heat the whole piece up, but I don't want them to move, so we're going to heat up this bangle itself. Well, I've already lost one of my gold dots, and not because I melted it, but I dropped it, and good grief, it blends exactly in with my floor. So now I'm going to do one side at a time. Alright, last one. I even looked on the studio floor to see if I could find that silly little thing, but man, she gone. Let's get this little buddy attached. So now the cup is pretty much done. It needs to, before it has to tumble, it's going to go in the tumbler and get very shiny, and then when it comes out, I'm going to shape it more into an oval and set the stone in there. So to be continued. Okay, so I'm back in the studio. It's all polished up, but it's round, and I don't want it to have to maneuver it too much after I set the stone. So this is an oval mandrel, and I'm going to make it oval. So there's a couple ways I could set this up for setting the stone, and it's kind of awkward, and I don't want to air set the stone. I want to give it some stability, so I'm going to use this stuff called Jet Set, and the reason I'm dancing with it in my hands is it is so hot. What I'm going to do while it's soft and pliable is kind of give the base where my stone is going to go a place to sit. And it's going to harden as it cools. I'm going to stick it in my vise, so I give it something, this little thing over here. So now what you can't see is that this is a Moissanite, but I have positioned the stone in the setting so the point of the facets is pointing perfectly down. You can't really notice it, but it makes it that much more pretty. Now time to set the stone. So the reason I'm doing this is when you set a stone, the metal actually folds over the stone, and if you make it more beveled on the edge, it's just going to fold over more clean and neat and pretty. So what I'm doing now, you probably can't see very well, but this is a graver, and I am going around the setting and taking off the hard edge, tiny little curls of silver. It's just really fine, minuscule work. Okay, so now that the edges are ready, I'm going to take my hammer and this little setting tool and just lightly tap the edge over the stone to set it in place. Progress. It's getting shiny. I gotta clean up polishing compound and my hands.